my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to the Matchday Ticket Live. Today is Swindon. I'm your host, Martin the Governor Lambert. This is brought to you in association with Mass Creations in Bury St Edmunds, bespoke web and software development. Their link is now in the chat. Head there if you need any of those items. Thank you to Town Fan Sam for sponsoring the show through Mass Creations. Right, Swindon away, a game that means absolutely nothing for both sides. But it's a good chance for us all to get together, have a good old chin wag, enjoy a virtual beer after the game. I'll have a coffee pre-game, if that's okay with you. In my broken mug, yes, in my trademarked broken mug. Team news is in. My first thoughts with Captain Crunch, because of who the captain is. Because he bricked someone in the VIP room laughing. Ipswich Jules, welcome in. Under 18s game. Yes, we'll talk about that as well this afternoon. Fantastic performance yesterday. Real guts and glory. Lee Anderson, afternoon all. Norwood captain. Poor Crunch must be spitting feathers. Yes, he certainly must be. Colin Plum, welcome in. Fantastic result for the under 18s. Bring on Liverpool. Absolutely. Neil Moles, welcome in. Bonjour, Treacle. Bonjour. ITFC Tweedy, Mullins and Norwood live together, I think. At least there is the same house as Nor's. Insta all over the time. Absolutely. And Ashley Bell, I'm telling you, Hastings is H. Right, on to the show. First of all, let's bring in our soon-to-be award-winning author, adventurer, Tractor Boy Graeme Brook. Graeme, welcome back to the show. How are you, my friend?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. A little bit tired. I got up to support our new owners and our sort of co-football team, Phoenix Rising, this morning, 3 o'clock. Managed to sit through most of it. I did miss the second goal, though, because it sort of suddenly had gone from 1-0 to 2-0, and I came round and thought, oh. But that wasn't anything to do with the football. That was just all the football that we're not used to seeing with Ipswich, like fast-flowing, attacking football.
1 touch, 2 touch,
athletic, 1 touch, running their backsides off from the first to the 90th minute. So all the things we've been missing. So...
Absolutely. It was a great game. Obviously, the social media embargo, Twitter embargo for myself, meant I couldn't broadcast, but it was good. It was a good game, exciting. It's an interesting game. What do you expect from today's game? You can see the team coming on the bottom. Don't sort of go into specifics just yet. We'll bring Brits in first. But what are you expecting? I mean, watch yesterday's game, 3 a.m. game. Did you watch the under 18s last night?
I didn't see the under 18s. No, I got someone that was at the ground working for Town, and he was messaging me like when Elk and Baggett got the 90 plus 10 or something equaliser to take it to extra time, and then he messaged me at the end when we'd won. So yeah, it was very, very exciting, because obviously the embargo on social media, you couldn't sort of follow it on Twitter like you would normally do. But yeah, that was a fantastic result, and it just shows the future that we've got for the younger ones. Obviously too young maybe not too young for the first team when you go on our first team this year, but brilliant result, and when you look at the Liverpool youth team, and you look at how Liverpool have been blooding over the last 2 or 3 years when they've been in a good position, they've been playing some of those youngsters in their first team. So hopefully we can go all the way, but if not, it'll be just a fantastic experience, won't it? Learning curve.
Absolutely. Before we go any further, can we just talk about what Rob Smith kind of flagged here? Matching shirt and curtains, Graeme. Can we discuss that for a moment, please?
Yeah, I hadn't actually noticed that, but yeah, that's very, very good point. But they're actually creamy background, the curtains, and this is a pink shirt. So, but yeah, the pattern's the same. The colour's just slightly different. But maybe at half time. At half time, if we've actually scored a goal for the first time in 10, 11 hours, maybe I'll stand against the curtains and blend into them, and then you'll be able to see that you'll think there's a pair of talking curtains.
Which is much better than when I thought you were going with the Paul Cook, I'm going to get topless line. And I was thinking you were going to go, I'll do a Paul Cook, I'll take the top off, and I'll, right. I'm thankful.
Definitely not. Some people have just had lunch, and some people will be approaching tea, so wouldn't want to do that to them.
Colin Plum, Liam gives them the lads unbelievable performance from every player. The Durrants, welcome in the Durrants. This makes our week 7 Durrants run the telly. Cheers, Guv. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for your support. It means a lot. Leighton Durrant, winner from the youth team was a carbon copy of Mowbray's head in the playoff final. Good old days. Andy Osborne, 3 games away from the new chapter. Absolutely. The book is nearing its completion. And the final line, I think, will be, that's all she wrote. Simon Wall, And how has Edwards made the team? I don't know. Ipswich Jules, the lad that was playing in number 4 town, impressed me last night. They all impressed me. Great game. Right, joining us this afternoon, is a late addition, a late sub. Making he's I think fifth, sixth appearance, but because Mark Tuxford decided to spend time with the family instead of watching Ipswich Town this afternoon. How dare he? But his loss is our gain because it's bricked up. Peter Coxey, how you doing, Coxey?
Buenos tardes, everyone. How you doing? Yes, all good, okay? Yeah, all's good.
Well. Can you believe Mark Tuxford decided to spend time with the family and not watch Ipswich Town Football Club?
No, of course not. What's that all about? Football first, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Football's
the show.
As they say, it's soccer I am. Football's always the winner.
Unless it's Ipswich Town that you support.
Unless it's Ipswich Town, yeah.
And then it's a 0-0 draw, right? Did you watch the under-18s last night?
And that's like Graham Governor. Now I was out doing bits and after work, so
yeah, I missed it. With these plastic fans in front of me.
Support fans.
Support your team. Support every age group. I mean, we've got some fans out there that believe players can't go for dinner, Coxey, and you're not sat here supporting under-18s. This is disgraceful.
Yeah, players got. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the trip to London. I mean, I don't know if you actually saw somebody actually photoshopped the cruncher at the back. That was brilliant.
Don't. But that was a good performance. ITFC Tweedy. Bort looked good. Oh, Graham, what is this afternoon's biscuit of choice?
Homemade chocolate cookies made by my good wife and my daughter. So.
Well, you know where I live now, Graham. So I do expect the batch brought round.
So you want them brought round? Okay.
I certainly do. Bort looked good. Hopefully his injury is not too serious. You don't see 2 stretchers in one game often. The Allison football family first, absolutely. Facebook user Nor's going to be here next season, isn't he? It's looking like it. Nick Poulter. Edwards did clear the first man, yes, and the last, and he cleared Mars, Venus, and Saturn as well.
They had to shut Stansted Airport when that shot came in, didn't they?
They did. Rendlesham thought it was another UFO sighting. Right. Today's team coming across the bottom of the Cruncher says keeping the power to drive tomorrow's podcast. Yes, he certainly is. Right. Cornell retains his place in goal. Vincent Young, Wolfenden, McGuinness. Arsenal must have Town by the balls about that one. Kenlock at left back. Then we've got Downs and Dazelle. Bishop playing somewhere. Dobra, Edwards, and James Norwood as captain. Shall we get the elephant out of the room? Norwood as captain. Coxey, what do you think of that?
Well, since Senor Cook has come in, he seems to sort of be sharing this around. So he's obviously, that's good to see Norwood. He obviously fancies an afternoon out playing football after his excursions during the week. So, well, he's obviously trying, as I said, he's obviously trying different captains. Norwood's on there. Downs has had a go. Who else has had a go in there? Yeah, quite a few of them. So, yeah, perhaps he's seeing that now he's up the front leading, and perhaps he can lead the team as well. Who knows?
Do you think, Graham, that Coxey just chucks the kit bag in, a bit like a Sunday morning? First 11 boys to get the shirt gets to play, and somewhere at the bottom is the captain's armband.
I don't know. I think it could psych James into really having a good game. I mean, to be fair, when you look at the rest that are playing, I mean, I think Downs is a given certainty that we'd like to keep him for next season, but I've still got a horrible feeling that someone's maybe championship levels likely to come in and pinch him. Norwood potentially could still be here next year. I mean, hopefully this will just give him a bit of encouragement. And obviously, because it's a social media ban this weekend, then he hasn't got a lot else to do, has he, rather than try and play for the first team?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. I don't know if he's taking part in the media blackout, but yeah, true. Ralph Edwards' shot was given permission to land at Elmset. Harry Butcher, loving the book, Graham. Michael Finch. Villa lads look good from the players also. And Simon Harris. How many minutes will Norwood play before he's injured? Coxey, how many minutes will Norwood play before he's injured? Asks Simon Harris.
Well, I thought Ben Adams usually likes doing a sweepstake around that. He's done one before on Kane Vincent Young. So, yeah. How long is he going to do? Let's hope he does a full. He's the captain today. Come on, Norwood. You've got to do the full 90 or 94 minutes today.
Yes. Yeah. That would be good. Carrots. Scott Twine, who had that thunder bastard last Yeah, it was last year now, I think. It was in December, wasn't it? Against us. Could be an option. See how he plays today. Springbean. I like Norwood as temporary captain. He'll score today. Ipswich Jules. I've told you 3-0 today, Town. 3-0 Town. Norwood hat-trick.
Martin, the game this morning, Phoenix Rising, the stats at half-time, I can't because it was very early in the morning, obviously, and I'm a bit old, so the memory goes sometimes. But the stats was something like 16 or 18 shots and 6 on target just in the first half. I mean, that's probably more than we've had most of the season.
Yeah, that's half a season for us, Graeme. Yeah, bloody hell.
I wasn't sure what to expect, the level of football, because obviously the MLS is obviously lower than the Premier League over here, and obviously that was second tier, but the standard was really, really impressive last night. I couldn't sort of fault the effort. Really, really enjoyed it. I don't know whether I'll manage a 3 o'clock another weekend, but it was really, really well worth it.
Well, you see, being an NFL fan, I'm used to it. I'm trained for it. I'm used to these late nights, but yeah, it was a good game. If they're all going to be 4-goal thrillers, it'll be fine. Simo, welcome in, Simo. I'm not a normal fan of the pitch, but on the pitch, he's a goal scorer and a menace. He's aggressive and can be nasty. Next year, he needs to be more aggressive and nasty. Yeah, I agree with that.
Beautifully said, Simo. Beautifully said, yeah.
Beautifully said. Jem, maybe the responsibility of captain. Can people stop putting big words in like responsibility? Because with my little bit of a start, it's a hard job, constantly. It's a hard job. Just say, given the authority. I can say authority. Kenlock's back, Graeme. No Ward. I don't think Ward's in the 18 at all, is he? Just quickly look at my bench. Holy, Chambers, NCR, Bennett, Harrop, Hawkins and Parrott. No Ward at all. Maybe still walking the streets of London. We don't know. That's unconfirmed. But we don't know. But Graeme, Kenlock, left back. Hey, it's end of season, Cox. Let's have some fun with it. Graeme, left back. Kenlock, what are you thinking?
Sort of going back a season or two ago, I've never been a fan of Kenlock. I've thought he's had his opportunity time and time again and never really grasped it. This season, under Lambert, he sort of came in and played a few games, and I personally felt he was getting better and better when he played maybe 4 or 5 games on the bounce. And I think you could say that it's about a lot of our youngsters, not the regular youngsters, but people that come in that give them a chance, particularly now everything's sort of been blown for another season. Let them have like a run of games and just sort of see if they do improve with game. The same I think with Dobra. If you had him in, and I know he's starting today, but if you had him in for several games, I'm sure he would just get more and more confident, regard himself as a first team player and get better and better. So yeah, I like Ken. I think Kenlock gives you, well, you need some option for a cross from the left after Edwards Skyer last week, don't you? So I think, Kenlock's a good option attacking wise down the left, and also he sort of covers himself. If he has lost out going forward, he sort of generally gets back reasonably quickly. So yeah, I'm quite pleased to see him. He's got to be better than sort of Mr. Ward. I think he maybe is getting to the age now. Could do with a mobility scooter just to get back a bit quicker.
Hold up on Bomber there a bit, Graeme. It's Bomber we're talking about here, bombing down the wing.
Yeah, Bomber.
Coxie, do you agree with Graeme there? I think as fans, we've got to be realistic. I know what Cookie says, but we have got salary management protocol coming in. 60% of turnover has to be wages, etc. There might be an opportunity here for Kenlock to sort of make something his own, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As Graeme said, and he said, Colin, and what Graeme said, he hasn't been. He was one of the scapegoats when we were sort of in the Championship, along with Spence and stuff. He was a bit of the witness. But this season when he's been given his chance, and now he has had a run of game, he's done all right. I mean, then suddenly he faded away. So we were some of us were speculating whether Mr. Cook is not liking him. It does happen sometimes, but it's good to see him in today, and give old Bomber a rest today. Dropping them bouncing bombs and
the golden
He's
Bomber.
Probably tired out from that shopping trip up to the West End.
Absolutely, yeah.
Knackered. Yeah.
Leighton Durham. Ward was asked to retrieve Edwards' free kick. He's just arrived in Glasgow. There are some great ones coming in. Carl Brook. Ward is that slow. He's now only getting past Chelmsford. This is such sacrilege against Bomber. Bombing down that wing, Brenner. We've got to sit that on a T-shirt, Nanny. Ashley Bell, doesn't that turnover include donation investment from the owners, though? Yeah, it does include donations. It absolutely does. I'm hoping to get somebody on to talk about it who knows a little bit more than I do at this stage in the summer. Lee Anderson, I voted for Judge. Oh, for Player of the Year. I just didn't bother.
How can they have a Player of the Year this year?
Absolute joke, isn't it?
Vote for me.
It's a bit like having Prime Minister of the Year for like the last year and a bit with COVID, isn't it?
God, yeah.
Vote for me. I've been here every week. I've never been injured. I've given all my all. I die for the club. Vote Lambert. Martin Lambert for Player of the Year.
I voted for Brett Johnson yesterday.
You see, you said that, and I said, typical you, that Graham, voting for the latecomer. I've been here since August, pal, watching us get beat by Swindon. They've turned up with their millions, and suddenly I'm not needed no more. I'm not. That's not. I'm just no terrible.
Yeah, but it's not the length of time that you're doing it. It's what you do in that time, Martin.
Football's a cruel mistress, isn't it?
You sound like somebody I know.
Is that your dog's bottom there, right?
He is, yeah. He's giving you the arse end of it. Carl Brooks, they should do a Player of the Year, should do an Employee of the Year, gives the kit man or the kitchen staff. Michael Finch is voting for Doggo. The Crunch, Guv is quicker than Warden, his mobility skill. Absolutely. My mobility skill goes to 8 miles an hour, I have you know. It truly does. Talking of players and chances, Cornell came in last week, did fairly okay. I want to see a second game from him. Let's see if we've got some consistency. How about yourselves, Coxie? Do you want to see more of the same from Cornell and see if we can build on a good performance?
Yeah, same as all the other pitchers who plays for our beloved Ipswich. We want to see a bit of consistency, but settled at the moment for a performance first, and then a bit of consistency. But yeah, let's be fair to the guy. He done all right last week. Didn't really have a lot to do, but when called upon, he was slightly better than the vampire there with the cross. Only slightly. But
were you not impressed with him last week then?
Compared to Holy, yes.
Compared to Holy, well, that's not hard. I'd put a brown ball
exactly.
in goal.
Don't ask me about it, Martin. I've just been speaking with Craig Forrest. That's what you call a good goalkeeper.
Mic drop. All right, look at that. I mean, he's mentioned Brett Johnson. He's mentioned Craig Forrest. He'll mention it in a minute. He'll mention somebody else. Like it's just
Tommy Miller.
Tommy Miller. Oh, good legend, Tommy Miller. Absolutely legend.
Matt Holland.
Legend. Love him. Yeah, my son's named after him, so he's brilliant.
So, Graham, how about yourself? Were you impressed last week with Cornell, with Di Cornell?
Yeah, I think you've got to give him his due. But again, we look at performances and we sort of try and compare them with something. And, what could feel like a good performance last week may not really be as good as we think it is because of, one, he wasn't put under an awful lot of pressure. I thought he did really well, obviously, with the penalty save, psyched out Piggott on that one. And Piggott's been on fire this year, so that was really good. But I think, all along you sort of, we could be raving about Kenlock in at half-time or full-time today, but then it could be, has he played that well, or are we comparing to how Ward played last week? It's quite difficult, my famous saying a lot of the last few weeks, you can't polish a turd and turn them into diamonds, and we've got an awful lot of turds out there, haven't we? We have. Are you surprised Edwards kept his place then on that one? I think. God,
well, I think
was it a corner and a free kick?
No segue there, of course.
Just an absolute joke. But, yeah, I think he's probably one of the players that you might argue has had a little bit more effort. A lot of them, to me, look just like they're completely down tools. They know what's going to happen in, not that I'm counting, 3 games' time. Cool, it'll only be 2 games' time in about 2 hours. That's be great. But I think he's possibly made more effort than some. Yeah, he had a couple of not very good moments last week. But, yeah, who are you going to put in, really? Lancaster's injured, isn't he? I would have him in as a first choice winger if he was fit, but Judge can't play, so I guess there's not I can't remember they're just coming along the bottom. I can't remember who you'd have in instead of Edwards, really. No, I'm surprised to see Parrott back among the subs bench and Harrop bricked up, because I thought them two were both done at the football club. Well, to be honest, I'd dump the the loanees. You know, I mean, if you know, I mean, hopefully there's going to be very few of this shower that are left in the squad for next year. But the ones that you know that are going to be here next year or potentially could be, I'd have them in over the loanees, because I can't. Can you see any of the loanees getting signed permanently? I can't.
Yeah, definitely not.
No, I can't. I really can't. We've got aspirations higher. Peter, talk about Chambers. Do you think we're now? This is the end time for Luke, because again, not picked on the bench, but not picked. Is this the end time for him now? Do you think?
Sadly, I think yes. I think this is the end of Chambers' playing career for Ipswich. He's been a fantastic servant. You know, Mike the Fisherman loves him.
Yeah, he does. Him and Andre, where he's two.
My man Andre. Yeah, reel him in today, Andre. Reel the Fisherman in today. He's out there somewhere.
He's watching. He's watching.
He's in the comments there.
He's watching. But yeah, Graeme, how about yourself?
I just think, you know, he's been a great servant over the years, but the last couple of years has been prone to a number of mistakes, particularly when he's been out wide, he's been caught out, you know, when he's going forward, not quick enough to get back, you know. Yeah, he loves the club. He does great service with, like, I think half the youth team live in his back shed, don't they, from what I understand. But, you know, yeah, marvellous character, but then I might argue I am as well. I love the club to bits, but I'm 57 and I'd probably be about the same pace at the back as people go running past me. So I personally, I know there's that danger of when Paul Hurst was here and he ripped the squad up to pieces in the Championship, but we've got that ideal opportunity now. We've got the financial backing. We've got, 26, 28 players out of contract. So I personally think, you know, Paul Cook likes a small squad. If he can get maybe 12, 15 players in and get shot of maybe 24, 25 of that 28. And then the most important thing, though, which we don't want another Marcus Evansism, of the fact that he would generally leave it until the last week or two of the pre-season.
They won't, will they?
And then, no, but what you were getting there was like you'd sort of got your Sunderlands and your Portsmouth had gone out at the start of pre-season. They'd gone down the road to Primark and bought all the first choices they wanted. Then Marcus came along to save a month's wages, the end of pre-season, and all that was left was like a bunch of squad players that no one else wanted that he could pick up cheap at the car boot sale, you know. So yeah. I think the most important bit of business the guys can do this season is, and I'm sure they've got it all ongoing already, but come that 1st of June, 2nd of June time, they've got the players lined up that they want. And if you cherry pick even players in this league, there's an amazing out of contract list that the East Anglian published, and you've got Joe Piggott, you've got Dion Charles, you've got Wes Burns, the winger at Fleetwood. Rathbone's not out of contract, but he ripped us to pieces up at Rochdale, you know, but he's not going to cost a huge amount transfer fee wise. And also his salary probably is about quarter or third of what the average player is on at Ipswich at the moment. So that, you know, if we can cherry pick those best players in the best positions in this league, whereas Paul Hurst picked so average Division 1 players and Division 2 players when we were still at Championship level. And, you know, within 2 months, he'd turned a Championship mid-table side into a Division 1 side playing in the Championships, which is why we went down.
I think it's absolutely great comment there, Graeme. That there has been several pieces, not just the East Anglian Daily. There's been other things on websites. Oh, as you said, all these really good players who would improve our squad. But we've got to go out. We've got to cherry pick them. We've got to change one of the many symptoms of Ipswich Townitis and get these deals done this year. Yeah. If there is a recruitment guy coming, he's got to get these deals done. Got to get these guys in the building. There's so many there. 2
prime examples, Phil. We had small.
Peter.
Sorry, Peter. I'd heard rumours, and they were confirmed because my neighbour's his best mate. We had Smodic down at the training ground, and that fell through on money. Look what he's done at Peterborough. We were also in with a chance of Johnson Harris for 700,000, and he's got nearly 30 goals this season. And Peterborough are reaping the rewards on both of those two.
Yeah, player of the year as well, isn't he? He's been voted.
Yeah, there you go. Right, it's 2 minutes too. So I need bold predictions. We can pick this up at full time. With more time at full time. bold predictions, please. Graham, you can kick us off with those.
I'm going to go for a really exciting 0-0, and we're going to have 3 shots on target today.
Bloody hell, Graham. Coxie, how about yourself?
I'm going for my usual brick-top prediction and 2-1 to Town. It's got to happen sooner or later this season. Come on, Ipswich.
It has. 4-1, Matt Stannard. 3-0, Ipswich Jules. 1-1, Cruncher. Stiggy says 3-0, Swindon. Lee Anderson, 2-1, Town. 0-0, says Mike Brown. Keeping that bet alive. I'm sorry, Mike. Today it ends for you, buddy.
Did you see Stiggy went for 2-1 Town? That's edging his bloody bets, isn't it? You've got Ipswich Town and Swindon Town.
Yeah, I know. 2-1, Mike. Yeah, well spotted. Colin Plum, 2-2. I'm going 3-0. We're back at half-time, then again at full-time with more chat that we had there and full-time reaction. So we'll see you all at half-time. 3 points incoming.